Should we move on to Holy War?
Oh, yes, please.
Yeah. So again, just like everything, there's a symbolic aspect to war, and the best the best thing about war, other than the violence and subjugating other people, is that it's also an it's also an opportunity for you to embody through external action internal transformations and your connection to the world of being. Jack,
That
do you want
that
to
sounds so
expand a little
good.
bit?
That sounds so good. Yeah, so in short, he views fighting in a holy war, so a war that is directed towards a higher purpose. If you're fighting in the war in the spirit of bhakti, so how you perform an action for the action itself. If you do that, fighting in a war becomes an initiatory rite. It becomes something that ontologically transforms you and directs your actions upwards. Basically, if the war mirrors or symbolizes some sort of conflict in the world of being, you end up taking part in that conflict through the symbol. So he talks about how in the ancient Hellenic world, warfare would represent the struggle between the Olympian element of order, so the Olympian gods like Zeus, etc., and the titanic, demonic, feminine chaos. And so when ancient Greeks would participate in wars that mirrored this conflict in the world of being, then they themselves would almost partake in that conflict.
So let's talk about the Crusades.
Yeah, they were mad.
Because the interesting thing is he's got here two sibling religions, which are to some degree, depending on what you think about the world, opposed to one another, perhaps even mutually exclusive. They make claims about their particular head honcho that invalidates the claims of the other head honcho. And he says those two religious worlds going at it was actually a really good thing.
Yeah.
Because he says in rising up in arms against one another, Islam and Christianity gave witness to the unity of the traditional spirit. And it's like,
nice.
Wait a second, what?
That's because you're just focusing on events in the world of becoming. You need to focus on the world of being, mate.
I suppose if they're both fighting the great, as opposed to looking at this through a materialistic modern lens of seeing it just as they're going to physical war, which would be the lesser holy war, and we actually view it through the prism of the greater holy war, then it's actually the opportunity for two great civilizations to practice all of these principles that I was talking about to achieve ascetic martyrdom and or heroic martyrdom within their spiritual systems through this like massive holy war against one another.
Yeah, well, just picture it. Picture how good the Crusades were. Okay, so you've got two groups of people fighting each other in the spirit of bhakti. Okay, he talks about how it was really good because so from the Christian perspective, the Crusades achieved this universality and a supernationalism. As in, European leaders came together and served the same sacred enterprise. It didn't matter that they would invade each other using Crusades as a pretext. That's a historical falsity. They came together for the sacred ideal and fought Muslims. And in doing so, they fought in the spirit of bhakti. He says that they weren't so concerned with things like material losses. It's more they fought for the spiritual.
It's just a flesh wound.
Fighting. Yeah, exactly. So even if they all got killed, if you are short-sighted and only look at things in terms of the world of becoming, yeah, it's bad. If you look at it in terms of the world of being, though, that's a whole lot of people who have been ontologically transformed and now live forever in the world of being. And similarly, from the Muslim side, Maybe you think, oh damn, it's shit. Their lands got invaded and they're having to fight people off. No, 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 no. This is really good because whenever they die and they are fighting in the spirit of bhakti, they too are ontologically transformed. They follow the path of asceticism, the path of action, and they live forever. So you see how good it is so good. You know how, say, people talk about civil wars as being the worst type of wars for a country because every casualty is of that country. This is like the reverse. This is perfect. Every casualty we win. Is the best war.
So, okay, say I'm a Muslim and you're a Christian, Jack. We go to holy war against one another, and we do the greater holy war, and just by pure good fortune, we happen to kill each other at the same time, and we both achieve transcendent martyrdom, and we both ascend or transcend the second death. Will we exist in the realm of being, like, will we be neighbors?
I don't know.
Will we be in the same neighborhood in the world of being?
I mean, surely
hang out there together.
Surely
like,
you'd at least
or do we get separate? Do we have like a Muslim world of being and a Christian world of being?
Well, I assume there's only one world of being, and say because Evola regarded Islam and Christianity as pretty degraded forms of tradition, so it's not going to resemble either of those.
Right.